everyone. My name is Fumi Abayomi. Thank you for joining us once again on our episode of Grassroots Sports Cafe. I'll be co-hosting today with Doreen. Grassroots Sports Cafe is brought to you by MSONI. This series aims to give the grassroots a voice on sports-related issues in Northern Ireland. Tonight's episode is dedicated to celebrating the 2021 International Women's Day by looking at the achievements of women in sport and the challenges many have overcome to succeed in their field, and also the challenges the girl child face in sports today. We'll have some discussions on the future of women and girls in sports. So stay tuned and please send in your questions, your comments, your opinion. We'd love to hear from you. Tonight, we have 4 beautiful women from all walks of life. Some of them have at some point been involved in sports actively. Some have children who are actively involved in sports. We have Lynn Wilson. Lynn is a sports development officer at Belfast City Council. Lynn has had the opportunity as a child to take part in a range of after-school sports, and her love for hockey gained her the opportunity to play hockey competitively during her last 3 years of senior school. Abiola Ladi. Abiola is a lover of sports and has inspired her children to play sports actively. We have Blessing here too. She has competitively played table tennis up to her university days. She's still very keen on enjoying the sport as a player. She has all 3 children actively involved in sports too. We also have Alexandra Lujek. Alexandra is a race relation worker. She's a writer and a researcher. Welcome, ladies, and thank you for joining us. So today, we're going to discuss anything and everything sports. To our viewers, Lynn will join us very soon. She's been here, but I think there must be a problem with her network, so she'll join us very soon. While we're waiting for Lynn to join us, we'll carry on with the discussion. I'll come to you, Alexia. So I'll call you Alexia. Is that fine?
Of course.
Good. Good. So I'll come to you, Alexia. As a race relation worker, do you think ethnic minority sports female share some experiences that are different from what the local female enjoy in sports or what they share in sports?
Absolutely. I think it's a very valid question because we have so many ethnic nationalities living and working in Northern Ireland, and all of them come from very different cultures. And in these different cultures, different sports are being recognized and cultivated. Sometimes surprisingly very different sports. Myself, when I was a child and a teenager, I practiced karate for many years, and badminton and tennis. However, I play very badly. But at the same time, for example, in Poland, lots of sports that I was privileged to be able to start and not be very great at, but to start, are for really rich people. So, and also sport is not really treated in Eastern Europe as a priority. So culturally, people who come here from Eastern Europe, they might not really have the opportunity to even know what is available here. And if something is available here, that might be something very different from what they had at home and what they are accustomed to. So when it comes to situation of women, especially ethnic minority, again, they might have not really great understanding what's going on here, and not really, they are not really aware what they can do. And also they come with this cultural luggage that makes them more prone to do certain things or not to do certain things. So they really need encouragement and access and information to learn what they could do. And from the perspective of race relations, there are so many different approaches to sport in many cultures. And the lack of information about what's happening regionally and especially in their areas where they live makes it a little bit difficult for women to participate in sport more actively. And they would like to do that because I get lots of questions about sport. Where can we find something, or where can we do something? Not necessarily during lockdown, obviously, but just before. So there is an interest, but there is lack of information and the cultural luggage sometimes being so severe that some women would not be really happy to play football, which is women football very popular here, or hockey, as we know about Lynn, just because of the fact that in certain areas of the world, it would be a taboo, it would be male-dominated sport.
Thank you so much for that, Alexis. So I'll come to Biola. What are your thoughts on what Alexis has just said? You know, considering the cultural differences and information. Abiola. Hi Abiola, can you please unmute yourself?
Sorry about that. The point that Alexis has raised is very, very vital and very, very important because number one, lack of information. When we moved down to Northern Ireland a few years back, there is no information whereby your kids can join, a sporting club, unlike where we are coming from London. We have so many clubs, so many activities, and there is enough of information whereby you go to. I find it so difficult to even get club from my daughter that was into competitive swimming, where and with that it takes your interest what to really know to do, because there is so rigid. You don't know where it's popping activity takes place. There's no information out. Even if it's on the internet, there's nothing. You can't really find anything. And secondly, my eldest son is into tennis as well. Those are sports I enjoy to do. They started right from when they were like 4 or 5 years old. So we have to put their hands and pick the balls, hold the jump, the diaper for them when they are still wearing diapers. But those things they love to do. But when we come here, no information. You don't know which sporting club to join. Even if you went there, oh, can I join this? Oh, we'll get back to you. We'll call you back. You never get any response. So with that, it's so difficult for people with color like myself, and even because I'm new to the society, what I mean. So I find this so difficult to find a place. But because this is they allow that to kill the spirit, they still go ahead, they find a way, they run around, they do all but the main thing is that there's no information out there. It's not easy to join a sporting club in Northern Ireland. And secondly, like she rightly said that she has a son that is into sports as well, maybe 7 years old. I have a little one that is about 12 years old, very, very active in rugby. It's like there's sport in our blood, kind of, but there's no enough sport out there for people like me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abiola. We had a little bit of information we lost there, but I'll try as much as possible to echo what Abiola has just said now. So she was trying to buttress Alexia's point about the cultural differences and about lack of information. And she just gave her own experience of how they've moved in from England with her family, and they were unable to get access to information that could help her children get into the kind of sports they had played all the while they were living in England and as very, very young children. So thank you, Abiola, for that. Blessing, what are your thoughts on this?
I would say in the part of information, they are very backward in UK as a whole, because have been in England before I came to Northern Ireland. They are more or less specialized on male children, because when I came to England, my boy went for normal training, because I have boys and girls. So when my boy went to normal trainings, there are like coaches coming, like 3 of them coming up to like interview my boy. They were dragging, but the girls aspect, as in the female aspect, it was like something else. Nobody go for there, because I have an older daughter that is very smart, and she's very strong, and the younger one is doing swimming, and she liked gymnastics. So I could not get any number from any of the coaches, because like what my co-friend said, she said when you ask them, they will tell you, oh, they will get back to you. There's nothing like information from guests, as a ladies sport is, they have the disadvantage is much there. So when I came to Northern Ireland, even when they were asking me of my boys' um, field of playing and all those stuff, you could not see any coach that would come for girls. The only thing I noticed is just the one they do at school. And the major things they do at school is the basketball. If it's not basketball, it's just this their new culture gaily, or so they call it. But for me, I don't like the gaily, because they are girls sports. They are sports where girls can go in and come out and become somebody. You know what I mean? I would love if they like bring more information, or if we have people that are coming out to like give mothers information. Okay, this is what we want, and this is what we want. And what I notice in the schools, they don't bring ladies first, as in the female child. They don't bring their sport out. They want them to do the male sports, because in my older daughter's school, they're asking me if she will play football, which I would not even allow. Even when she's interested, I'll be the one to discourage her, because that one is not like, I don't know, if he's adult, if he's up to 18 years, she can decide for herself. But that at little age, that game is too strong for a woman. You know what I mean? So what I saw there is they should focus on ladies too, because we have potentials too. We have potentials. We ladies, we can do. And for me, as a lady, when we are doing sport, we put all our soul, body, and mind there. So they should know ladies are strong enough to do some games which we favor them, that can lead them to their future, or anywhere in this world. You understand me? Because if we look other Europe country or America, we have ladies, different sports. They introduce it. It's not only football. But what they specialize on UK as a whole is just football. And it's not everybody that likes football. Like me, I like table tennis. And my kids, I would love them to do long tennis or badminton. There are so many games for women. Swimming. If I tell you my kids is chatting, is always telling me, my older one, always telling me, Mommy, I want to swim, I want to do this. I've asked teachers, even friends. They say they don't have number for it. So what will I do? I told her, relax, because there's nothing I can do. They should just focus on education. That is it. But if we specialize, if we develop ourselves on that, bringing female children that are willing to do sport out, that will be very good. It will be a very good thing. You will see all females that are like, that have this self, I don't know how to call it. It is self-esteem, because some people don't want to mingle with boys too. That's one thing. They don't want to mingle with boys. But if it is girls doing this game, they would like to they would like to develop their self from inside. So that's all I see, because is more or less disadvantaged in the sport they are doing in this UK. And secondly, we are lacking information.
Doreen, can you please unmute yourself?
I've done it since. Oh, okay.
Doreen, can you hear me, Doreen?
I have unmute myself.
Good, thank you.
Can you all hear me? Thank you very much, guys. So picking from Alexa, when you were speaking, you focus more on lack of priority, as in people not prioritizing sports in Eastern Europe, and then on that can be a hindrance to the growth and improvement of sports, especially among women. Because if it's not a priority for you, most times it's more of like a studies for you that becomes a priority. And then if I get you right, Biola, when you're also speaking, you talk about lack of information as a barrier. So we have priority, lack of information, and then Blessing, you also spoke on gender stereotypes against women in terms of setting games. So looking at these three barriers, I will start with you, Alexa. Specifically, I would like to speak to you on gender stereotypes in sports against women. If I get what Blessing said, in such a way, said there are some sports that are not allowed for women, especially football. And then this is one of the key things that we also, today being International Women's Day, International Women's Month, we are choosing to challenge. So then what are your thoughts on gender stereotypes and bias against women in certain type of sports? Alexa.
Again, if I am to speak from Eastern European point of view, I would say that in majority of Eastern European countries, with few exceptions probably, women would be seen as those who should be practicing, let's call it women's sports, whatever it is. With all due respect, not necessarily every woman is interested in practicing so-called women's sports. There are lots of fantastic sports, and this is a question I would think of a free choice. And the fact that in Northern Ireland there is a possibility for women, for girls to practice football and hockey, or whatever they really want, I really like this idea. I have a son, so I don't have to think if it's appropriate or not. However, my son likes dancing and ballet, so it's another thing that it's kind of against all stereotypes, and I encourage him to do that. But yes, again, it's a question of a personal choice. So some people probably choose to, in a way, carry on with these stereotypes. I think that as people with these stereotypes come, and they will not want to participate in some sports because of the cultural luggage, the baggage, let's say, it would be great if they could be directed, if they wish, to some other venues or some other sports for the sake of their free choice. So I do accept that some people might not really want to participate, women to participate in football, I get that, but some might want. But if there are representatives of other countries who are not interested, they should be given the right and encouragement to do something that they find appropriate for them. This is absolutely a question of free choice. But another thing that I would like to mention, maybe it will be a little bit off topic, but we will come back to it, is a question of financial availability. I mentioned tennis and badminton because I was privileged enough. My father is a tennis empire. So he would like to spend all his money on me, regardless of what I wanted, really. But we have lots of people, migrants, who don't have financial capacity to practice these sports, which are maybe wider available, be it tennis, badminton, which I really appreciate, but they don't. We have lots of refugees. So it's very important to encourage them to participate in sports for the health. It's a question of mental health as well. It's not only to be strong, and mental health is crucial for people who are less privileged. So it's not only gender stereotypes that might be in a way, but also the question of finances. And I can see this conflict, this financial problems already in my son's school, which is integrated school. It's a great school, but I see that you can see that some children from richer families, they can afford much more, and their life seems to be obviously easier. but my heart really, and I am at the moment that not really especially rich, but I would like children to have opportunities to do whatever they want and not to make their parents feeling really frustrated because they cannot assist their children. Remembering about the mental health which results from the state of mental health which results from practicing sports. So there are so many problems which are not addressed at the moment in Northern Ireland that when it comes to women and sports, mother in sports and children in sports, that really pains me when I look at it. And I see and appreciate the attempts at doing that. But with this diversity that we face now, because now it became an extremely diverse place, there is not enough work being put in this aspect.
All right, and let's also this also leads to another question for you. Ladies, I'll come back to you with my other questions based on what we all have to say on that. So now we are from what I got from you, and correct me if I'm wrong, we are not only looking at gender stereotypes, but then there are some sporting activities that in a way it's more of like classify according to your class in society. For instance, you gave example like tennis, and I know tennis is to be an expensive game. So in such situation, if you have a child, and this go to Blessing as a mom, if you have a child and your child is interested in golf, which is known to be quite an expensive game, or tennis, and how do you, looking at these financial challenges, how do you encourage or find ways to help in a way limit this barrier that is preventing your child from pursuing their interest?
I don't think that. Sorry.
Hello. Okay. Is it me that is talking?
Yes, Blessing.
Oh, sorry. What I see there, if like me, I'm very interested in long tennis for my child. The thing is that when you call them, they've never told me of, oh, it's expensive. I'm just hearing it now. So we as a mother, we need to know the information. It's left for us to decide. I know maybe it might be difficult because there are so many things we'll buy. But if I can't afford it, there's a way you can meet the school or community that they can like assist you for it. You know what I mean? But we need
Yes.
the information. That's the thing. Information, and they will tell us, okay, this is who you will call. It's just like my son. When I was in Grand Haven, the football he joined is Cromley United. I told them, because where I live, you can't track it. So I told them, look, I don't have a car. So they said, okay, they can pick her up, they can pick him up, or there are buses coming from that place. He has other team friends that are in my area. They can swear go there with transport and everything. They will support it because most of them do. Their coaches do support. So, but the basic thing is that we need information from the coach or people that are running it. Then we can speak to them, and they tell us this is how they get our children and every other things. For those that are struggling, there are times when they said there's something you call women forum or communities or socials. They do. I know they do help, but I've never been on that stage because I'm always like, my son, I'm paying money for his sport that he's doing. But the coach, they did the transport thing. They just come home and pick him. They'll give me time. So if that one is available, why not? We can swear move forward.
Okay.
That is a little help for
Okay.
us too as
Okay.
mothers.
Lane, can you hear me, Lane? Hello, Lane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining in now, you are watching Grassroots Grassroots Sports Cafe, and then we have our panels talking about challenges in sports, especially against women, and also celebrating women heroes in sports. Lane, can you still hear me now? Unfortunately, we cannot hear you. That would have been a perfect question. So my question to you, Lynn, will be, as a developer who a sports development officer who work at the council, these women are talking about some of the challenges affecting women, especially young girls in sports here in Northern Ireland. And one of the challenges they mention is financial challenges and also lack of information. especially some of them are migrant traveling from different countries or different suburbs to this place. And if that information is not up there, as an officer who works for the council, is there a way that we can help, or the council, or is there measures the council has already put in place to make sure that the information is out there for people or for parents to know? And if there is such measures, can you let these women know, or our viewers know, where they can find this information? If not, what's your intake on why there's no information available for women to have access to help their children interest?
Hi, Darren. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so right now we can't hear Lynn speak. I think for the sake of time, we should just move on to the next question, and whenever Lynn is able to speak to us, she would address that.
All right. Thank you very much. So Lynn, then that gives you enough time to prepare for the answers, and then whenever you can just send us a message and we will let you answer those questions for us. Thank you so much. So then my next question will be to Biola, and then this question is, now that we've identified all these challenges or barriers, what do you think is the likely solution to all these barriers in terms of lack of information, financial aid, and also gender stereotypes against women in certain areas of sports?
Sorry, thank you so much. Right, before I go ahead, when I came in and I was a bit frustrated about the lack of information, that's when I went to Anthony and I complained. I said so many things and all that. The honest Anthony held my hand, and then because of my daughter, she can just stop what she's been doing for 5 years, just like that. So he encouraged me. I just said thank you. I want to forget. And secondly,
Biola, I'll just give you some few seconds. I think your internet is breaking down, so maybe I'll let you, whenever you get a strong signal, just send us a message and then we will let you in, if that's okay. I think your internet is breaking down, so we find it very difficult to hear the information you want to give us. Yeah, that. So if you get a strong signal, yeah, go ahead. Let's see if it's clear now.
Right. I've just said that. And secondly, it's how we can get help. The honest information is not needed.
Biola, sorry, I will have to cut this one in and direct the question to another person because your internet is not strong. But I'll come back to you. Alexa, what's your intake on the question?
I do think that there is a song. We have an Anthony, obviously, okay. To contact, but also I think that it would be great if Lynn could answer, because it is a question of information. So with this powerful social media functioning so well in Northern Ireland, and possibility to reach out to many ethnic organizations which are working on the ground, it would be great if there was either one or two or three organizations that would be, let it be even council, kind of collating information of what's happening, where it's happening, and uploading that maybe with possible translations as well. So because as you can see, it's there are quite very effective ways of, say, talking about hate crimes and other issues regarding ethnic minorities, which are very well spread out, and community centers are aware of them, and there is a great cooperation, or more or less good cooperation, between various organizations. So I think maybe sport is not treated that seriously, but if we combine sport with mental health, and when it's a kind of campaign of mental health and sport, and because obviously it does have such a great influence over mental health, and then if we prioritize this way, and sell it in a way this way, it is possibility that it can be as well sold to other organizations, and then the information can be widely available. But maybe it's a question of tool, how it is propagated, not only sports for sport, not sports only for achievement, awards, and so on, but which is important for some people, and I absolutely respect that as well, but to combine it with mental health, and then to try to spread information and activate the coaches, activate community centers where all these great things are happening, and tell them how important it is to share all this local knowledge that it's already there in order to attract people and in order to spread information. Because there are also lots of volunteers who would probably gladly translate this information into languages widely used apart from English, obviously, in Northern Ireland. So there is there are human resources that could be used, but it's about collating information, making it available, and in a way selling sport, enjoying a kind of partnership with mental health in order to reach to people who might not be that interested at the beginning, but at the same time, it would be great for them if they started something.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll go to the next question. And many times we get the narrative that women are remarkably busy and are unable to participate actively in sports. Do you think this is the case? Anybody can go ahead. Biola, if your internet is strong now, you can answer this question.
I don't know if it's strong enough now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, thank you. I don't believe in that narrative that women are so busy and joining in sports. Because I'm a woman, I support my children, for the sporting activities, making sure they are ready for the coaches to pick them up, making sure the mental health is stable as well, because by the time of them, to talk to them, encourage them, they'll definitely strive, very well in sports. So I don't want to believe in that narrative, and we have girls, that have done sports, like Serena Williams. She's a woman, she's an hero, whereby she's a role model. In the days of when they were very little and all that, we read about them, and that was one of those reasons why she was in tennis. And I supported them and all that. They were still wearing diapers when they started playing tennis. So I wouldn't want to believe in that narrative, because they are great role models.
Okay, thank you, Biola. Blessing, what's your intake on that? Do you think that girls or women are remarkably busy, so they don't have time to participate in certain sports? That's why there's less representation of women in certain areas of sports. Do you think that is the narrative?
I totally disagree with it strongly, because the way the energy they use for boys, they should use that same energy for girls too. Because if they use that same energy to talk to girls the same way, girls will pick up. Because the way they encourage boys or male child, that's not how they don't even speak of the female. Because my when I was in England, there were 3 coaches that came. Even my son said he's going this one. I said no, I like this one. What they concluded, they will come individual. Each coaches came to my house individual and talk to my son. So my son decided to, like, okay, this is the sport I'm going for. This is the club that he's going to play with. You know what I mean? If they use that energy on girls' children or female children, I see no reason why they won't make up their mind on, oh, I love this, let me just try. Because Rome was not built in a day. My table tennis I was playing back home, I just followed somebody to the stadium. They said, oh, you can play this game. I said, are you sure? Before I know, I decided playing. They started teaching me. I don't have idea of table tennis, but when I was into it, I was going there, seeing how girls were playing it. I said, okay, let me just try. That was how I get to love to play that game. You understand? I don't know if I'm off.
Thank you very much. So Elaine just responded to us with the question that we asked her. So it was, how is the council tackling this issue of the barriers that we spoke about? And then she said, with regards to finding out opportunities in a city, you should link up with the school. Most schools have PE school coordinator who have the link to the local council. So she also sent us an email that Emsoni will post later to the local council. So that is to mothers out there, if you are lacking information as to how to get your children, especially your girl child, into certain sports, we will post the council email after the show on our page so that you can get more information there and then know your next step. Thank you, Len, very much for your effort. Although you're having issues, you are really making effort to join in the conversation, and we really appreciate that. So I will move on to the next question. Do we see disparity in the involvement of the media with women's sports compared to men's sports? And then how will you argue that? How do you find how the media portray men in sports or sports and activity that involves men-dominated sports activity as compared to women? Do you think the media have a role in how women are being perceived in sports? Anybody can take this question. Sorry. Whoever is ready can answer this question.
Okay. I would like to say there are so many female players that are being, highly publicized in the media, that are being supported, depending on the kind of game they are playing and and how outstanding they are. Having said that, we know they are not as being hyped like the male counterpart. The male counterpart has all the hyping, all the support, all the facilities that they need, and they are being even more better. They are being appreciated more, towards the wages, the salaries, and benefits. But having said all that, I still believe that women, as there's a bit of stereotype in that aspect. I think they can still do more. Help push female, push them up even more, a little bit more, so that they'll be on the same level with their counterpart, whatever game or sport they are involved.
All right. Thank you. So this is a quick one. Len is also speaking to parents and any women interested in sports that they have a female sports forum that is, I think, organized by the council. So whatever she says, Emsoni will post it on our page after the show. So if you've not heard from Len, or you will not get opportunity to hear from her, know that whatever she has to contribute to today's show will be posted on our media page. So you get to know her intake on all the questions that we ask. Thank you very much. And also, if you are joining in now, you are watching Emsoni Grassroots Sports Cafe, and today it's all about women in sports. Alexa, what's your intake? Do you think that the media portray women's sports and activity less desirable as compared to men? What's your intake on this?
I think it depends on media, really, because Northern Irish media, I think they are doing a really good job when it comes to gender equality and portraying quite often women taking part in sports that would be seen in my area in Eastern Europe as extremely not popular for women, like football or hockey. And I really appreciate that, because if I say had a child, a girl, probably if she all of a sudden had this idea, and I had that idea in Poland, I remember, because I wanted to play football, but everybody thought I was crazy. But if I had a child, a girl, and she would like to do that, I could see that media actually encourage, in a way, because of these pictures of ladies playing football, they show that, okay, you can try. So when it comes to this, I think it's fine. But I would not blame media that much. I think it's very important at the moment. Even more important is probably this local information and local activity of local groups. And as Lynn mentioned, schools probably, because this is where children learn the most important things, and they can learn and they can, in a way, get infected with sports. And
Okay.
sorry. Yes.
Alexa, if I get you right, so what you're saying is that it's not much more, the blame is not solely on the media, but also within the grassroots as compared to as like the schools and the parents and how they get their children involved in sports at the grassroots level. Is that the argument you are building up?
Maybe I used bad word, because it's not a question of blame, but it's a question of not very well development information and infrastructure in order to attract people. And media not necessarily would have to be responsible for that, as people and schools are, and local community clubs maybe.
Okay. Blessing, what's your intake on this? Do you think that the media portrays women's sporting activity less desirable as compared to men?
Sorry. Yes, I do. I do agree on that one. A little bit is part of them, because, for example, if the media can come up and bring some certain questions and certain things that they are not seeing such things really popular in the television. If they bring it up, other people might even work on it, because it's the media that is really giving us information on how they love the sport, on women or not. But it's what they present to us we watch. Is what they present to us we watch. That was why they call them communication. They call them, they can go out and say they are not seeing this thing in our society. They can as well ask and put it in the social media and said, okay, we are not aware of this one. So the social media should be involved in it. They are really important figures there, because that is their main job.
Mm-hmm.
Like now we're in a live show now. If not this live show, we will get people's opinion that will tell us, oh, this is what is really is not working in our society. So the social media is a big head figure there. For me, is really important for them, because why? Social media can go, if I'm doing how do you call them, presenters, I can go to my child's school and interview them and bring it to social media for people to have awareness of it. So social media, they are more important on this issue. So if they are not bringing female or female football team on television, it's their fault, because they need other people that cannot even speak for themselves. They are the ones to speak for people that cannot speak for themselves. So social media is important for me.
How technology works. So if you are watching out there, Lynn was meant to be part of the panel, but she's having technical issues. Yes, she's contributing to us on the topic via our private chat. So on the issue of media, Lynn said that the media has improved recently via 2020 vision, and the theme for the vision is if she can't see it, she can't be it. So that is a campaign message out there. And also, to add to what Alexa said, Lynn said also look up Electric Ireland game changer campaign around female sports. More work have been done, but we are heading in the right direction. So like Alexa said, the media in Northern Ireland seems to be promoting female sports activity, and then Lynn, I think what Lynn is saying also confirms that. So moving on to our next question, I think for me,
Thank you very much. Wow, that's been a lot of interesting and revealing information out there. So the next question will be that, what are your thoughts on the impact of having more female coaches and female referees on increasing the participation of females in sports? How do you think we can get more women into coaching and refereeing? I'll send that to Alex, and then I would also send that to Lynn. So Lynn, please, would want your response on this, and would read that out. So Alex, what are your views on this?
We are talking of women who are of ethnic minorities.
Women
as
generally.
well, women in general. Women in general. I think when it comes to indigenous population, if I can call Northern Irish people, it's there are not too many barriers, because we can already see some women coaches, and there are women who are interested in sports, and they are pretty visible. But I think that when it comes to ethnic minorities, there are women who would be interested, but they have no idea where to turn to, how to find their ways. And as much as I appreciate information from Lynn that the schools would be very helpful, I'm not sure if parents know of these very talented, say, children who are interested in sports and in the future maybe in coaching, that they actually can go to the PA school coordinator and who the PE school coordinators are in order to find this information. So again, we have this barrier, which is the information barrier. And I'm so sure that there are women who would be interested of ethnic minorities to do something like that, but they will not know where to turn to. And that's the disadvantage between, the big difference between the indigenous population and us who are not from here. We were not born here, that they know where to find information, we still don't know. And I've been here for 15 years, as I say. I have no idea where I could turn to in order to find information, how to say, assist somebody who would contact me within my work, race relations work, because they have a dream to become a coach. I would have to really work hard to find this information. So again, it's the information barrier. And then when people have this information, they might be more interested. Obviously, when they see a women coach somewhere, and I've seen this beautiful recently, there was some fantastic short clip on Facebook of a lady who was umpire on the football game, and I thought, wow, we should see that more often. It was so great. She was blonde, she was beautiful, she was very happy, she was very strong and extremely confident. And I thought, I would like to see that more often. And then I thought, oh, really? If I have a daughter, if she saw that, that's such an impressive, fantastic thing to do. So it's a question of promotion, obviously.
Thank you very much, Alexis. Blessing, what are your thoughts on this? Do you want me to read the question again?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on impact of having more female coaches and referees on increasing the participation of females in sports?
I will love that one. It will really inspire children, women that are really those that some women they don't want to come out from their comfort. So when they do that, like if they have information of that one, or we have somebody that will really encourage them, especially a woman figure, that is a woman that is a lady that will be there to encourage women. We as a women, there's one thing they like, we from different countries, there's one thing they like putting us down. There's a word that will make us, they can't do anything, they are not strong enough. That alone can easily discourage a woman. I don't want to be. Or they will tell you, oh, you have children, you don't have time to do all these ones. It discourages women very much. So that will be a very good goal for any coach that can encourage women. Because that is why social media is there. We can as well call out for them too. If you are interested in this and that one, it's the same thing. Like what Alex said, the school is a good place for them to introduce, to bring out, to have people, I don't know, like communication, to bring out women that are interested in coaching and a referee in their sport. That's what I can contribute. It's good for me, and it's very important, because if we have women coach, other women will want to come out and do more. We are strong.
You're very right. We are strong. Thank you, Blessing. Abiola, I'll bring that to you. Can you hear me, Abiola?
Yes. Yes.
So do you think that having female coaches and referees would inspire young girls to get engaged and involved in more sports?
Yeah, exactly. Because little children, not just little children, human beings, we love role models. And by the time you do things, you don't know who you are inspiring. I could remember when I was a little child and I fell in a playground, and the way the nurse look after me, makes me, at the back of my mind that I would like to be a nurse one day. So we all love role models. We all love treated in a way, and like the way I forgot her name. Sorry, somebody mentioned that she saw a video about a coach and which is a lady, or a referee which is a lady. So it will really help by the time we see loads of women, female, doing one or two things as extraordinary, which could help young people take them as role models, and that could influence what they would like to become in the future.
Thank you very much, Biola. We have a response from Lynn, and Lynn says, coach education is always delivered via the sports governing body, but I would encourage you to join Female Sports Forum to see each opportunities for coach education specific for women. Thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you for joining the discussion, despite the fact that we can't see your face, we can hear you. Thank you, Lynn. I'll pass it on to Doreen now. Doreen.
All right. Thank you all very much. So I'm quite happy that we have some moms as part of the panel. So this question is, as a mom, have you experienced any instances whereby you face the situation that you face is very in terms of helping your children in sports is hard to navigate? Have you come across such instances whereby you feel there's no way forward in helping your child to pursue their sports in interest? Anybody can answer. Whoever is ready can go through this.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
would like to
know.
go.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Right. At the time, I was so depressed because my daughter had been in very competitive activity, and information out there. I don't know where to go, and I asked so many people, and they don't have the information. I searched the internet. There's nothing out there, and eventually I was walking along. I saw a place beyond the temple. I went there. I think I've mentioned earlier. But I now constantly I said, you help people in sport. This is my situation. How can you help me?
Sorry, Biola, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're really breaking
Can you hear
up,
me?
and I think you have a very interesting story to tell there. So I would
Okay.
really crave that you're able to solve your internet and then you tell us this story, because I think it's very interesting and we don't want to miss that. But while we're waiting for you to sort that, I think Blessing can take the baton while you sort that out.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's really frustrating that we can't hear her, because she has some vital points. On my own part, I will love the difficulties we have. Like, since I came now, I've been in Northern Ireland a year plus now. My little girl, she wants to do swimming and gymnastic. I've been asking. I ask teachers. I ask anybody I know that, okay, this person might give me information, including the Irish people. They don't even know. They don't even have idea of where is going on, what is happening. You know what I mean? So we as a mother, we are finding it difficult. Just imagine me I have people to ask. We have some women that cannot even speak for themselves, but they just indoor. Oh, let's just push them the way they are. But what I would suggest, because we have some in schools, if we have coaches or we have informants that can print some of the games and said, oh, these are this. They're like information is like a hand manual, they call it or so. you can put them in the schools board information, and students can go there and see it, or some others social commercial places where you can like look and see if you can get any information, if there's any game or anything coming up for women. That is it. Like me, I'm finding it difficult to, like, I don't even know where to carry my daughter to.
Thank you. So this is also a quick one. So if you are home and you are watching and you're also going through these issues like lack of information to help your girl child, Sony have a lot of shows or event that is promoting girl child in sports. So you can also check on our website and also our all social media pages, and you find this event that is to promote girl child in sports. And if not, if you are struggling with it, just send us an email, and our officers are ever ready to get back to you with it. So as a mom, Alexa, as a mom, how do you navigate through these challenges that you go through to make sure that your child's interest is still being pursued?
I've had some major challenges because my son is extremely active, but he hates football, he hates rugby, and the school offered some rugby and football coaching after school. So it was within an after school club, which is as well you had to pay. So financially it would be okay because it was not expensive. But my son he went there because I really encouraged him. He saw and he was not interested. So I was looking for some other places, and because I worked previously in Chinese Welfare Association for some time, so I knew that they have karate classes. So I took my son there because I practice karate. So I thought it would be great for him to start from there. He didn't like that; he was too young. So we will try probably after lockdown again, because I think that now he being 7, he will be more interested. But again, I work in a very specific field and voluntary sector as a race relations coordinator, and so I would know basically where to look for information, or I would ask people that I work with all these community centers. So for me, it's easier. But if somebody doesn't have my work, and there are other people don't have my work, they would absolutely have no idea. And at the moment, I remember that I struggled with finding information, and now my son declared that he's interested in dancing, so we will see where it goes. I know that art center has some classes, but again, it's a question of money. So we are in a way coming back to gender stereotypes, when a boy should be definitely playing football and playing rugby, but when he's into dancing or something like that, then no, we will not have classes like that. So as a mother of a very specific boy, I'm struggling, but as a race relations worker, it's much easier for me because I do have to have lots of relations with lots of local people, so I would know where to ask. But as I say, my situation is quite unique. And if I was a woman not connected that well now, I would have no idea where to turn. I would just not know.
All right. So thank you very much. Also, so Len is still posting some opportunities whereby you can find help for to navigate some of the challenges, and we will be sure to post it on all our social media platforms for moms out there and viewers out there to also have a look at it. And also, I'll also remind you that if you are struggling or lacking information on any sports and activities for your girl child or your boy child, Msoni is also another platform you can check out. We have amazing events coming up that your child can log in, and then will be very beneficial to them. Also, so my next question is, as women, who do you see as a sports hero? A female sports hero, and why do you see that person as a female sports hero? Anybody can answer this question, please. And for the sake of time, maybe in a minute or two, just tell us who is a female sports hero, and why do you see this woman as a female sports hero? Okay, Alexa.
But it's gonna be very fast because I don't have a sports hero. I just admire always when anybody puts on social media a picture of a 60 or 70, maybe 80 years old lady that, I don't know, she goes to the gym or she practices yoga or something. That is my hero. So I have lots of them and none of them really. And I'm gonna be the same. So, but this is, this is what media do. They actually can encourage. You don't have to have this celebrity star. You can have this amazing, happy, healthy 70 years old lady who does these things, and she just like glowing with happiness and health. So these are my heroes.
Okay. Blessing, in less than a minute, who is your sports hero and why is that woman your sports hero?
I do admire Serena and her sister too much.
Venus,
So
yeah.
I watch them, and secondly, I hope my daughter will have interest on it. But hopefully, that is, my daughter doesn't like that one. He want to play basketball because they see their group mates. They want to play this one. Oh, all of them want to group in there. So I really like Serena and her sister, which is good. But I admire other people's ladies' sports too. They do, which I love watching them. I like the way they play their things, and I love it. The only thing, my only advice is they should introduce different sports in schools, because in schools we have children. They shouldn't focus on just football, basketball. We have other interesting sports that women can do. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Biola. Who is your sports hero and why is this person your sports hero? Why do you choose this person as your sports hero?
There are lots of them, but I like Jessica Any Hills. Yeah, because the way she does the thing. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's better now.
Yeah, basically, that's my sports hero because she's a sprinter and the way she runs and carries herself, I really like her. And Serena Williams and the sister, so Venus. So
Yeah.
those are the people that encourages us to put our children into tennis as well.
All right, thank you. So as we all are aware, this year theme for International Women's Day is choose to challenge. Choose to challenge. So in what area do you choose to challenge? In what area? I'll start with you, Alexa. What do you choose to challenge?
Organization or people?
It's all yours. Go for it, Alexa. Go for it. Who do you choose? You can challenge all of them.
Okay.
Can I say something quickly, Alexa? Yes. So, what do you choose to challenge generally, organization or individual? And what do you choose to challenge in women's sports?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. I think I will challenge, obviously, Belfast City Council, because I do see that Lynn has so many fantastic responses and information, and I would like this information to be widespread and available in community centers and at schools. So that is my challenge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa. Lynn, we are challenging you. Blessing, who do you choose to challenge and why are you challenging?
I choose to challenge schools. They have to introduce different sports in the school, because in the schools they have just two particular sports in the schools, and it's the schools where we have more children, female children, that will be more interested in different games, because everybody will not play basketball and play gaily and play what do you call this one, football. So they should introduce different sports. And secondly, we have Belfast as a capital city, but one of those that are from the is it rural area or the Oba area, the local place. So they should give us more, they should put information, or coaches or anybody to oh, this is what is going on in different communities, because we have some villages that are very small that you can't even use transport. They will use this traveling transport to go and flow. You understand me? That one, the community is good, because I like what she said. The community and the schools, they should work on that one. And transport.
You're on mute. Good.
Okay, Lane has turned his woman of sports. So Lane chooses woman sports hero is Mary Peters, and the reason why she chose Mary Peters is because Mary attended my school many years before I did. She became an Olympian in 1972. She still continued to support female sports with enthusiasm. So that is Lane sports hero Mary Peters. And Lane, you can also let us know what you choose to challenge in society. Biola, what do you choose to challenge?
Um, basically, it's still the same thing, but I just have to say mine. Easy access to information, and this can only happen with the help of the council. By the time the council helps, the school will definitely follow suit. So that the information is not hidden, is on the notice board. Once you get to the school, you are able to access the information. And to be honest, once the information is there, you are able to access it. You will pay the price for you to get your child there, especially a child that will not let go until they attend their activity section.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Biola. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for joining in the discussion. It's been very, very eye-opening, especially from the parents' perspective and the fact that information is a great barrier. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. And to our viewers back home, thank you very much for tuning in. We hope to see you next time soon. Thank you so much. Doreen.
Thank you.
So just a quick one. Lane, I will not leave you out. So Lane is choosing to our challenge is reaching out via the GDPR restrictions. So Lane, we don't know what the GDPR is, but you can send it to us later after the show, and then we'll post your challenge also on our website. And then thank you very much, Lane. Although you were not seen, but your voice was heard, and then we appreciate the effort that you put in making sure that you stay in track with us. I want to take this opportunity and also announce that MSONI have amazing sporting at events coming up, and we already have some, especially the women swimming classes for marginalized women in society. We have women handball. We are trying to get funding also for women's sports coaching, which Lynn did mention. So I will advise parents out there that check out on our website, all social media platforms. And then if you want information, if there's something that you are trying to find out and from the council or anybody that you are struggling with it, please, that's why we are the mouthpiece of the society. Link up to us, and then we will do our best to help you navigate whatever barriers that you are facing. I want to take this opportunity and wish these amazing women happy International Women's Day. If you're a woman out there, if you identify as a woman out there, happy International Women's Day. We see you, we know what you're doing, and then we are cheering you on wherever you are. Thank you very much once again. You are watching sports Grassroots Sports Cafe, and thank you very much. Fumi, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Doreen. You pretty much said it all. Happy International Women's Day. Tomorrow, March 8th, is International Women's Day, and we would love to wish all women all over the world a beautiful and a happy International Women's Day.
And now, before I forget, thank you, Gary, for your efforts. Everybody, thank you very much. The man that in our midst, but you did so well. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate you. And have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the month. Bye-bye.